Hi, I'm Lindsay Foley and I'm the Self-Awareness Guide. Thank you so much for your interest in this video on how to get the bully out of your head. So to help you clear the bully out of your head, I'm going to share with you some stories. So the first one is The Two Wolves. It's an ancient Indian Cherokee tale that you may have come across. And it involves two characters, the grandfather and his grandson. The grandfather explains to his grandson that there are two wolves fighting inside him that illustrate the inner conflict that's going on within him. And the conversation of the two men goes like this. "I have a fight going on within me," said the old man. "It's taking place between two wolves. One is evil. He is anger, sorrow, regret, greed, arrogance, guilt, resentment, lies, false pride, superiority, and ego." The grandfather looked at his grandson and went on, "The other embodies positive emotions. He is joy, peace, hope, humility, serenity, kindness, empathy, generosity, truth, faith, and love. Both wolves are fighting to the death, and the same fight is going on within you and every other person too." The grandson took a moment to reflect on this, and at last he looked up to his grandfather and said, "Which one will win, grandfather?" And the old Cherokee simply said, "The one you feed." So we need to ask ourselves, whose voice are we listening to in our head? Who do we feed? Which one do we give authority to? And becoming aware of the conversations in your head will enable you to work out who's in charge. And it can be quite a surprise for us to realize that we're not always in charge of our thoughts like we think we are, and that there are different voices going on inside of our heads. Now, it's lovely when the voice inside of our head is nurturing and loving, compassionate, motivating, and those are the ones we definitely want to keep. However, sadly, a lot of the thoughts that we have in our head can be critical, can be judgmental, and are often not even ours. So I'll give you another couple of examples from my life and my stories that go on in my head to help you. So I was at Marks and Spencer's the other week with my husband doing a little bit of shopping, and we came to the till and the cashier said, "Would you like your receipt in your bag or would you like it in your hand?" And I paused for a moment because I had this voice shoot into my head, and it was my mum's voice saying, "In your hand." And it made me chuckle to myself because I recognized it was my mum's voice. And I even said to the cashier, "Oh, I've got my mum's voice saying that I should have it in my hand because of an old kind of fear-based belief that if you put the receipt in your bag and someone steals it off you, then you'll lose your money." So we had a little bit of a chuckle about that. However, in all seriousness, it has in the past stopped me in my tracks and changed my behavior, or has made me think for a second more than I would usually follow my gut instinct because I had that voice in my head. Another example is when we were looking at cars last year. we were looking at all types of cars and all sorts of gadgets and things like that. And we were looking at a car that the front seat had an electric mechanism that made it go up and down and, you know, slide and do various things. And I had my dad's voice in my head saying, oh, you know, you don't want too many things electrical because it's lots to go wrong. So like that practical voice. My dad was a mechanic for over 40 years and really enjoyed the mechanical aspects of cars. Once they got more electric, he wasn't so keen. And again, I recognized that it was my dad's voice. And if I'd really let that voice stop me from buying that car, what it would have done is it would have stopped me from having that increased level of comfort, that increased luxury that I wanted, that I could have. And there's many situations where you and I have probably stopped ourselves because of those voices in our heads. And so my wish, my role is to, in this video, to introduce you to those voices and to raise your awareness of the fact that you have those voices and that some of them can really be detrimental to your behavior, to the way that you think, the way that you motivate yourself, and that it doesn't have to be that way. So I hope I've given you some insights, and the second video, I will give you some more tools on how to work with this awareness. So thanks for listening. And again, I'm Lindsay, the Self-Awareness Guide. Thank you.